Okay, go.
When talking about the special senses within our bodies, there are 5 important receptors: chemoreceptor, mechanoreceptor, chemoreceptor, photoreceptor, and nociceptors. The chemoreceptors are a sensory cell that is responsive to chemical stimuli. This receptor can be found in the carotid sinus and aortic arch.
Already done, okay.
Mechanoreceptors are a sense organ that responds to mechanical stimuli, such as touch or sound. This receptor can be found within the skin.
Skin.
Thermoreceptors are a non-specialized sensory receptor that codes absolute and relative changes in temperature that is within the insinuous range.
Okay.
Thermoreceptors have a heat receptor that is found closer to the skin's surface, while cold receptors are found in the dermis layers of the skin. The photoreceptors are a sensory cell that responds to light falling on it.
You can see crap.
These receptors can be found in the deepest part of the retina.
Which is your eyebrow.
Nociceptors are sensory receptors for painful stimuli.
Ow! Oh my god, ow. I just broke things. I broke things.
These receptors can be found in either the dorsal root ganglia or the trigeminal ganglia.
Okay, you did pretty good. Pretty good, yes.
Now that you know about the 5 important receptors of your special senses, there are 2 different elements of process of information.
Yay! Google works great. Okay.
These 2 processes are sensation and perception.
Okay.
These 2 processes are sensation and perception.
I can feel that.
Many people believe these 2 terms are the same, but in actuality, they are completely different.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
I know, right?
Okay.
Here's why. In sensation, the physical stimulus, with its physical properties, is registered by sensory organs. Those sensory organs then begin to decode the information that is given and transforms them into neural impulses.
Alright.
These impulses are then transmitted to the sensory cortices of the brain.
Oh.
This is where the line of difference between sensation and perception is drawn. Perception follows sensation.
Ooh, I just drew that line. Line draw.
The nerve impulses go through a series of organization, translation, and interpretation within the brain. Once perception is complete, a person is able to make sense out of the sensations.
I did the bunny ears too.
A couple of examples of this is like seeing the light, which is sensation, differs from determining its color, which is perception.
Are we talking about the light isn't like going into the light like you're dying?
No. Sensation is like the light that hits an object, and perception is the colors that are reflected back.
Oh.
Kinda get it now?
So you're like, oh, sensational. That I love that rainbow because I perceived it.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Go.
Or feeling the coldness of the environment can differ from perceiving that winter is coming.
Except for in Georgia, because they always gotta be all freaky.
Now, let's talk about the mouth.
The taste buds are specific receptor for the sense or taste, or widely scattered in the oral cavity. Over here. So sugar and salt will satisfy the bodies and for carbohydrates and minerals. There are 5 basic taste sensations, each corresponding to stimuli of one of the 5 major types of taste buds. Sweet, that's number 1, sweet receptors. Number 2, sugar. Number 3, saccharin. Number 4, some amino acid and lead salt. Facial nerve serve the anterior part of the tongue.
Alright. That's
And now, to the nose.
All right, one of the first facts on here that's cool about your nose is that like your nose, the cells in your nose, they change every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks, you know, scents always smell different to you.
Cool.
That's the first one.
Okay.
Another one is your sense of smell is the first one to develop even when you're a baby. I think it's after the first 20 weeks or something like that after you're born, then that's when you get your nose or your sense of smell.
Okay.
You can smell better when it's humid and when there's more moisture in the air. So that's why most people, they can't smell very well in the winter time, not just because you're sick.
Okay, that I actually didn't know. Like,
Okay.
dang, these are interesting.
The way you smell plays a big part in who you're attracted to. I think that's why they invented perfume and colognes, because you're usually attracted to people that smell better.
Seems about right.
Your sense of smell is like the strongest sense that brings up memories. Whenever you smell stuff, you remember stuff better than if you taste it or feel it or whatever. Things of that nature. Alright, when you're asleep, your sense of smell shuts down. That's why you can't smell stuff in your dreams, but you can taste stuff and feel stuff, things of that nature. People that can't smell have a condition called anosmia. Yeah. It's like you can be deaf and you can be blind, you can also not smell. Alright, the human brain can process roughly 10,000 smells in an area the size of a postage stamp.
Whoa.
We got fancy snozzes, man.
Nice.
Alright, go.
Humans have 5 to 6 billion odor detecting cells in their nose.
That's a lot.
Muzzle.
And now to the ears. Bye bye.
Yo, the ear. Let's talk about that. So the ear isn't just for hearing, it's also for equilibrium. Equilibrium's that thing where you like spin and then you feel dizzy and you're like, but you're like, Basically it keeps you from falling off on your butt. Now the way hearing works is the sound waves go into your ear and hit your eardrum, which makes little baby bones in your ear knock around each other and vibrate, which knocking around can also cause, or does cause, the bones to hit the cochlear, which is the little snail thing that you see all the time, the little snail bone thing in your ear. Yeah, that thing. Which causes the fluid in there to produce sound oddly. And there's little hairs in your ear hair. Well, they're not ear hair, they're cilia. And the cilia also help you hear crack. Like how you hear me right now? Yeah, that's your ear. There's two types of equilibrium, static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. Static equilibrium is when you're just standing completely still. That's static equilibrium, because static in the sense that you aren't moving. So, yeah, you just, look, I'm not moving. Static equilibrium, whoa. Dynamic equilibrium, on the other hand, can be compared to a free fall, you can say. You're not technically moving because you know you're, like, you're not like moving, but you know that you're moving. So here you go. Woo. So dynamic equilibrium is the sense that you are moving. So static, you aren't moving. Dynamic, you're moving. Ain't that great? But back to hearing. To hear, you need pressure to be equal on both sides. That means equal pressure on your outer ear, inner ear, and your middle ear. So all equal pressure. So when you notice that you go up in higher elevation and you feel your ears pop, that's different pressure.
So like on an airplane.
Yeah, just like on an airplane. Or if you're on an airplane.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Now, the way that your ear, like, equals out pressure is through the Eustachian tube. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that correctly. It's starts with E. It's a tube in your ear. And it kind of is like a pressure valve. Okay. But the tube opens like a pressure thing, opening to release pressure out your ears so you don't explode your head. Basically. You can, yeah. But have you ever thought of, oh, I'm just used to this noise, so it doesn't bother me? That's because you are adapting. Your ears, they adapt, fools. They adapt. Basically, your head just gets used to it. That's all I can really say. Just your ears know the sound so much. Your brain's like, don't bother me. Nah, I'm used to it. I'm cool. And let's talk about a serious issue. Not really a serious issue. It's just a symptom. The thing we're supposed to write. Yeah, that thing on the project. Okay, let's talk about deafness. Like the thing where you can't hear anything. Like you're just got out of like a rock band concert and you're like, what? I can't hear you. What? Yeah, that. Deafness is just you can't hear. Something in your ear is messed up. Either there's some bones missing, or the little cilia I talked about are all gone, or just you don't have ears. It can cause deafness. Like loud music cause deafness. Even though I do it all the time. But most people that have deafness know how to read lips. So don't talk about people and they're like, hey, did you hear about that one dude? Because he will read your lips and probably beat you up. Yeah, life advice. Interesting fact about ears, if I do say so myself. Okay, I couldn't find a really interesting fact on the internet, so this one will have to do. When you go to sleep, your ears don't stop working. Shocking, huh? Yeah, you just sleep, and your brain is occupying by your ears. They never shut down. They never do. That's why when you're asleep and you hear something, like wake you up, you're like, whoa, dude, there's probably a burglar in my house, or someone's in the fridge eating my sandwich or something. Like, you still hear that because your ears don't shut down. They'll never shut down unless you're dead. Which is awful.
Sinuous range. Thermoreceptors has a receptor that is found closer to
Has.
retake.
Has.
Has.
Oh, I am grammar Nazi. How dare you? Oh,
Thermoreceptors are a non-specialized sensory receptor that codes absolute and relative changes in the temperature that is found within the insinuous range. Thermoreceptors have a heat receptor that is found closer to the skin surface, while the
Okay, you're doing good. You ready, set, cut, go.
thermoreceptors has a heat receptor.
Has. We're doing this again.
Those sensory organs then begin to decode the information that is given and transform.
You have one job, Michaela.
I have one job and I failed.
Good. We got that. Okay, go. Action. Science is weird. Go.
Once perception is complete, wrong one.
Okay.
These two processes are sensation and perception.
I can feel that. You can start whenever now.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fancy. Women can smell better than men.
It's like
Really?
Is that like an actual fact?
Yeah, that's right, cheer.
Wow, I didn't actually know that.
I didn't either. Well, I guess we got another advantage against men.
Whatever you say. Okay, your sense of smell, that's, wait, hold on, delete that. I gotta figure out how to word that.
Yep.
I'm gonna delete that. I gotta chew on something.
But the reason your ears can maintain.
Yay!
How do you work this thing? Oh, I hope that doesn't go in the bloopers.